When alcohol is your best friend. Now, I don't really drink much anymore, but it wasn't always like that. The story goes back to about 4 years ago in 2012. 2012 was my drinking year. And one of my favorite things, like I've mentioned before, ever to do is isolate myself from the world and put on headphones and let my mind escape into music. Well, it was around 2012 I realized I had another favorite activity, and that was that. I'll clear my throat here. All right. Yeah. Yep. All right. Was my new favorite activity was isolating myself, listening to music on headphones, but inebriated. This was the ultimate escape when I listened to music I liked, isolated from the world, just drunk and just trashed. Now, this was within the time period I was also living within the block, so memories always have within that block. But I had a ritual of about twice a week. My favorite thing to drink was Jägermeister. And it was the one like alcohol that I could drink straight. Everything else, I can't. My stomach can't take a lot of kinds of alcohol. So there's only a few things I could drink, but this is something I could drink straight and get you drunk fast. Um, I did this about twice a week, and then at one of these times, I was working like 7 days a week, and I didn't have a day off to drink. So you damn well bet yourself on those 2 days off, I was definitely gonna drink. On those two, at least still, at least still 2 nights a week, I was going to drink. When I got off work, I was gonna had 5 hours, and I'd usually get like the $12 bottle. It's a pint. I don't know exactly what the hell that is, but I would drink that all in 5 hours, usually twice a week. And there was a couple times where I did slip up and get pushed a little farther to where I was working 7 days a week, but 4 of those days I was drinking 4 of those bottles. And I remember when I was working third shift, I'd get off and I'd be waiting to buy, 5:30 to buy. And it was kind of like a funny stereotype, just like a drunk sitting there at the damn cashier, at the cash register waiting to get that shit. And that was definitely me. The first half of 2012, I was kind of in and out of employment. I'd have a job and I'd struggle with it. I'd mess up too much, get fired. This happened at least 4 times in the first half of that year. The second half of 2012, I had a more steady job, and it's the job I'm still at now. But I remember, the first part of the year when I did have this one job, I enjoyed actually doing it, but I didn't enjoy the company I worked for, but I enjoyed it because I had chances to go out and just drive around at night and listen to music, and I was delivering papers. I actually worked inside the building, but I had the position of where you handed the papers out to the carriers, but a lot of the times there were still, there weren't enough carriers to fill those routes, so I was still going out pretty much every night on top of that. And I had a lot of fun time. I didn't like the company I worked for, but I had a lot of fun times just, going out and doing that. But I get off work, third shift, and um, just drink the whole morning away. An average isolated drunk headphone session, when I actually had enough time to do it the way I wanted to, was anywhere from 6 to 10 hours of pretty much drinking the whole time. And I haven't done one of those in a long time, and I think I want to do one again because it's been a while. But it's pure bliss when you get lost in the music. And this was my early form of being in the zone. This was the first time I ever felt like what I call the zone now. This was a version of that. The first time I ever felt like I was in the zone and I didn't care about anything. And, there was about a two. There was 2 months in like the summer that year that I didn't have a job. I had some money saved up, and I spent most of those 2 months. A lot of that money went to alcohol. Just sitting in that block, isolated from the world, just getting trashed because it was my favorite thing to do at the time, and I just loved being away from everyone and everything and being fucked up. And I remember those 2 months, they were a rough 2 months with stuff going on in my life, but, drinking is what got me by at the time. Now, the thing is, alcoholism runs very bad within my family. And I don't know if I'd ever consider myself an alcoholic, maybe a borderline alcoholic at one point. But I knew when I started drinking and going into this a lot more, I kind of had this system because I didn't want to end up like them. I was this twice a week thing, which I stuck to that. I drank. I didn't drink just to socialize. I drank to get fucked up, but I was pretty strict with the 2 times a week limit, other than a couple times. And I had this whole, plan for just, drinking and not, turning out like some of the other people I know. I never took things quite to that level. But this video is making me nostalgic, and I think I have to do that again soon. That's a different. There's, like I said earlier, my favorite thing to do is to isolate myself from the world and put on headphones. And there's, of course, when I'm on whatever, whether I'm drinking or smoking or, amphetamines, each category, when you listen to the headphone music session, um, it's got a different feel to each one of them, complete different feel. Sometimes, back in the day when I was on, doing various, amphetamines, those headphone sessions would last, sometimes 8, 9, 10 hours. And when I did it like on that, I completely lost track of time. And trying to think if there's anything I really else to say here. I think that's actually about it. And this video is the year of 2012, the year when alcohol was my only friend.